You're relocating abroad without your fiancé, your husband, or your wife. There are 5 things you need to bear in mind. It's challenging, extremely challenging to detach yourself physically, geographically from your significant other. More challenging are these 5 things, especially if you are traveling across continent. The first thing you're going to face is going to be that loneliness, physical loneliness. You're traveling to a country in which you probably know nobody. You're new in the country. You're going to miss your family or whoever, your significant other that you're leaving back in your home country. Loneliness is going to be the first thing that will set into your life. What you have to do when you get into a country, it won't solve the problem, but it's going to cushion it a little bit, is to find social gatherings. Look for your community. Join your community gatherings. Join your community club. Join other social gatherings. Make friends online, whatever it is. Make friends in the workplace. That's going to help you a lot. Keep contact with your significant other. It's going to help you a lot. So loneliness is the first thing, and that's what you must do. Another challenge, number 2, that you're going to face is communication barrier. For instance, if you travel to a country where your language is not spoken, and you're probably not good in whatever language that is spoken in that country, or you pronounce things a little differently from that community, it's going to be a tough challenge. Another part of that communication is time difference between you, where you are currently, and the country you're coming from. That's a real challenge. You might be working at the time that your significant other is awake, and your nighttime is the morning for your significant other. So there's going to be a lot of communication lapses. That's another challenge you're going to face. So it's quite important that you bear that in mind and make solid plans as to what time you and your significant other can have meaningful communications. Use every means that you can to communicate. Emails, text messages, WhatsApp, video calls are extremely important to keep that relationship or marriage or whatever it is going. The third thing you're going to face is cultural adjustment. It is difficult, I should say, to adjust into a new culture. The people are different. You are different. The culture is different. The setting is different. People talk differently. Everything is different. What are you going to do? You have to find a way to make those adjustments. It's going to affect you emotionally, psychologically sometimes, because you're struggling to fit in. What you need to do in that case, try to immerse yourself in the local culture. Attend cultural events. Talk to people. Make friends with people. The people of that culture is going to help you adapt faster than you would ever think. The fourth thing is increased financial burden. Now, don't forget, if you were living with, say for example, your boyfriend or husband or a fiancé or before you departed. Now, rent is being paid there, and you're also going to be paying rent in a new place. You probably had one Wi-Fi before now. Now, you're going to be paying for Wi-Fi in 2 places and a few other things. Financial burden is going to increase. So it's important that you plan your finances seriously before you leave. Make realistic financial goals. You don't want to overestimate what you're going to make where you're going and what you're going to spend. You could be very, very well disappointed. So make those financial goals, set realistic expectations financially so that your partner can understand as well that they don't have to expect too much from you, at least in the very beginning. Once you're able to set realistic budget, it will help you to navigate the pitfalls that are usually the case abroad. Debt. You don't want to fall into that. So set realistic goals. Don't make promises, financial promises that you cannot fulfill. When you depart from your partner, there are always expectations financially because you're traveling abroad. What most people don't understand is that your first few years are your most difficult years. Very challenging financially. Now, this does not pertain to everybody, I must say. A handful of people are extremely lucky to hit the ground and run and they're successful. But for the majority of people, that's not the reality on ground. The last thing I'm going to talk about is a strain in your relationship. Physical absence causes a lot of strains. It will cause a lot of strain in your relationship. And this is where trust comes in. This is where constant communication comes in. This is where openness comes in. This is where you should set realistic expectations. You guys have to talk about it. Know that there are going to be challenges and agree on how you're going to resolve them. Agree on how you're going to resolve issues from a distance. There will be issues. Agree on how you're going to resolve them from a distance. If you can pull these 5 things together, lower your expectations, but keep the hopes high, your relationship is going to survive.